right, we're going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to our guests, Tom and Kathy, Andrew, and Julie.
Adrian, like Rocky's wife.
Hey there, Adrian. Who's behind you? There's somebody behind. Who's behind you?
Michael.
I'm sorry?
Michael.
Michael? Okay. Nice to see you.
Michael.
You're not with the camera crew, are you?
No, and I have no relation to Rocky.
All right, we're going to start with our report. So, treasurer or secretary's report. Barb is ill, so I guess we can do that. Anybody have any questions on that? What has been as it was written?
No.
Everybody had a chance to read it over?
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion.
Jim?
Did
Any
you
secretary's report?
did you read the minutes from
No,
last
I
month?
didn't. I didn't read the minutes. And I will right now, I'm sorry. Okay.
All good? All right, go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the 5/6/24 meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Tiffany, could you do the treasurer's report? Michelle doesn't have time to get to it.
For the month of April, the total assets and liabilities are $34,755.38. There is a year-to-date deficit of $1,372.91. That's due to the grounds maintenance, but we should be seeing an even out on that once we get the credits on that future invoice and that all levels out due to the overbilling. Utilities is under budget $70.24, and management administrative is under budget $338.92.
Questions? The sign, the invoice I gave you, is that all set? Is it?
Yep, they're set up, and I process the invoice, so it's gonna get out.
All right, I think that's it.
And that will be getting paid out of our savings account, correct?
Reserve, we can
Yes.
pay that at reserve, that's fine.
Well, I thought that's what we had agreed upon.
Yep.
I was making sure I was correct.
All right. All right. Anybody else got any questions on the finances? Ooh. Okay. Moving on, manager's report now. Ooh, let's move on to
The month of May, the board packet was created, minutes were completed, ARB applications were sent back to the owners after they were approved, the invoices were processed and approved, financial summary for April was completed, the delinquent accounts were reviewed and updated on the arrears report, the property visit was completed on 5/23, and then I did speak with the landscapers about the incorrect invoices.
the next one, because that's what we're gonna have the budget.
That's coming as of Thursday. We are beginning budget season, unfortunately.
All right. Now, we have our architectural reviews. Let's do this one first. We'll do this first. They would like to replace the gutters and soffits with similar color, not necessarily the old ones, but bronze. Okay? Anybody have any questions on that? Jim, you have any questions on that? It's not on that one. It's over here.
Jim, that's the sample.
This is the sample.
Yeah, I got it here.
Okay.
No.
No, that's a different one.
That's a different one.
Oh,
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
have these.
Oh, I thought you took the first one. Okay. I'm having trouble hearing. Could you just speak up just a bit?
You want me to yell?
Please!
All right, they want to replace the soffits and gutters with these. With
Okay.
This color, but not the old one.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions on that one? No? Good? All right, all in favor? Okay. And let's see, they want to paint, replace all siding and soffits as well as fascia stucco, and paint Sherwood-Williams. It's a Tony taupe. And all soffits and fascia will remain current and chocolate. So this is the taupe and the chocolate. Any questions? There you go. And the big one, they want to replace the roof. Which color is it? Okay, so I want to go with that gray. Michelle, you see that color? Good. All right. Anybody have any questions on that one?
I have a question. What is the actual cost to replace a roof nowadays?
Well, because we have those solar tubes, it costs a little bit
Right.
more, but it wasn't bad. I mean, that house was like 11.5.
Over 10,000?
Yeah, it was like 11.5, but that doesn't include the solar tubes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then Barb wants to replace her roof, and she sent this color to do her roof. Anybody have any questions on Barb's roof? No. Barb's roof. You can hand these right back to them. Thank you for bringing them in.
Sorry, we've been very small.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, you had to carry it, not me.
It's entirely up to you. You guys can skip around and see. Your work done, you can hang in, stay for the rest of the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Because that's just the meetings amongst you and Bob.
It's for
everyone, but you're welcome to stay if you want to see what we do. If you don't want to stay, you're welcome to leave. It's up to you.
All right, no, that's fine.
You can
We're
see what
going
we
to
do.
this one now.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And now we're gonna, 3448 Gavison. Andrew, did you get a survey for us?
I have a survey.
Yeah.
I don't know. The trees are located on your common area. I have 7.5 feet off of my house towards the sidewalk where those 3 trees are, and we're about 3 feet short. So the roots of those trees are starting to impede in the house, but that's not nearly the issue here. So they're part of the common area, but there are some of the roots that do impede into my property and come up into the house, up on the back end, just from time. So that's why, and then I've kind of done a couple of things like, so I talked to SB Tree. They called Port Orange. There's no permit needed on those types of trees. They're a nuisance type of tree. The nuisance that we're currently having is a Jardera bug infestation, which are basically the red and black shoulder bugs. They are seasonal, however, they could go from 10 to 100 to 100,000 in a couple of weeks. I have bugs crawling on my walls, my bathrooms, my baby. I got pictures. I had to spend over $500 with Drake Pest Control to come and spray those trees, spray my yard, spray the house. So yeah, I'm trying to just figure out a good solution between you guys and us, so that I can stop spending my money, and having the bug issue. And once the trees are removed, the bugs are gone, because the seeds from the trees are what they're attracted to. So they're golden rain trees, so it's not an oak or anything crazy like that, but that's what they're attracted to. So, and had a couple people out, and the trees aren't being taken care of.
So you're asking to take the trees down?
Correct. And I'll pay for the trees to get taken down. Stumps, the whole 9 yards.
Anybody want to speak to that?
Yeah, I had brought up the issue of trees being removed at the last meeting, and a homeowner sent me an email, and the ordinances are available. You do need a permit to remove any tree. The only difference between any tree and an oak tree is that you have to go to the city council to get that approved, so.
I spoke to the city of Port Orange.
Well, I'm telling you right now,
And
code
I
of,
reached out to the arborist too, which would have been irrelevant, because the arborist is going to tell you the health of the tree and not necessarily nothing else. They're not going to say that tree's infested and needs to be removed, they're gonna just tell you the tree's thriving with healthy seeds, because that's what an arborist does. But, I mean, again, if this is a hearsay thing, I had multiple tree companies, and I also had one of the people contact Linda and let her know as well that they contacted the city of Port Orange, no permit is needed, and it is, again, a nuisance tree. So, we can go back and forth all day long, that's why we're here, so.
Well, I'm not going back and forth with anyone. The code is
No.
Code of Ordinances, Chapter 9, Section 10. So that's, I'm just saying that another interested party prior to you, this was before any of this, and I had brought up the whole permitting issue. And a permit is required for any removal of any tree. The only difference is that an oak tree would need additional approval from city council because it's protected. So again, that's,
I just find it weird that a huge licensed company like SV Tree, who does hundreds of thousands of tree removals with our association in our subdivision, would tell me that they don't need it and that they want the job. So I just find that a little odd.
me too.
I do find that odd. So I would love if you could write down that code and
I did
let
call
me
the
have
city.
it.
And I asked them
Just 1
if
minute.
they needed a permit for that, and they said for an invasive trees, we do not need a permit.
Okay.
I know that says different, because I read the
Right.
same thing. But the city has two different views, I guess.
Okay.
So we have to go
I'm
with
just going
what,
by what they,
I know, and that's what I was going by
sure,
until I called them.
okay.
But I'm glad you got that and brought it, because I didn't bring that today. But,
tree, because we have any in the
A
backyard.
golden rain tree.
Golden rain tree?
Well, it
And
says
they have
a diseased
Giardina
tree.
bug.
Is it a diseased?
It's a
invasive
invasive
tree. Very primitive for that tree.
Okay.
It's
It's
not
diseased.
diseased.
So it's just been mincing words.
Yeah.
So that's the invasive.
So they said invasive, so,
It's,
so,
because of where those golden rain trees are, they're mowed, but those things drop seedlings all the time, and say that was in an area that wasn't kept, they would be spreading everywhere.
Yeah.
So-
My son's encountering the same problem on his property,
all right.
and the
so-
bugs.
Jim, do you have anything to say about this, the trees and what?
Yeah, I'm concerned, I understand the problem, believe me. And then sometimes we're caught in a situation where it might be beneficial to do something, whether it's financial, because the people themselves are going to pick up the tab, or it's the right thing to do. I'm just wondering if there's a precedent being set by cutting down a tree in a public area that's not creating a physical or a hazard of either crashing into a house or falling on somebody, and what type of precedent that establishes for the future. I think we have to be aware that, like anyone who holds a public office, you not only hold it for that time, but you also have to protect the people that come after you. And I just want to make sure we're not straitjacketing them into other people who'd say, well, I want this tree down and I'll pay for it, I want this thing, if we get into a situation like that. So I don't know if we want to get a ruling from our attorney on it, or, that's the thing that troubles me, really, rather than the individual situation here.
Between me and you guys, it doesn't really sound like you guys have very much money to be able to get an attorney involved, and that's just my opinion coming from a concerned homeowner. What concerns me is if we want to prolong this, the money that would be being spent on the trees is going to go to my concern of getting the trees removed, so it's going to go, I don't want it to be the match where we're just kind of going back and forth, but like, I can show you pictures, I can show you the pest bill, it gets at this point, it's a nuisance, so like, if the people that are concerned with what you're talking about are coming to you with these valid issues, then it should be something that you guys are talking about for a tree being removed now. But I mean, I've been here for almost 3 years and I haven't really made any really big concerns as far as cutting anything down or needing anything removed until it became a huge issue. And when I have bugs crawling on me or my computer and my baby just during the day because they're getting through the windows and the soffits and they're on the roof because I'm fighting my insurance company right now from the hurricanes last too, so that's been a nightmare. Like, I don't know, it doesn't seem, we're trying to be less, right.
Jim's point is, he just thinks if, you guys got a valid point, but then you always set a precedence when you
Sure,
do these things.
absolutely.
And this is what his concern is setting a precedent on what's gonna happen.
His concern is if someone else wants to just come and cut down a tree, is there a tree?
Well, it's not just trees, it's anything.
But is
Once
it
you
a
establish a
nuisance that we're
precedent
asking
that you
them to
allow
do?
people to change the common area for things that don't affect public safety or damage,
wanna
you're
start
establishing
treating
a
the trees?
precedent. And once you do that, you have to be careful.
Do you guys want to start treating the trees with money? That's the problem.
Mr. Speaker, we have to follow, we all have to have a say, and we have to have
I
fun.
understand, but I mean, there should be things that we're bringing up that are precedent that are kind of more concerning than
Michelle, do you have
just
something to
that.
address on this?
No, I understand the importance of it, because it could become a problem, and I do know, like I've made a mention, these bugs, because my son's dealing with the same issue on his property, if they get squished, they stain everything they come in contact with. And there are thousands of them, and they come in, it is a problem. So I understand where he's coming from, and I understand what Jim is saying. I understand both sides.
All right, so,
And I think we should treat each situation that comes about as an individual, and as long as there's a legitimate concern or problem, is how we need to address it.
and how do we put that in our ruling, if we move?
So I think setting a precedence would be allowing them to just remove it without coming and presenting the problem to you guys and getting permission, and then them just acting on their own and us not doing anything about it. They have come before the board, they've expressed concerns, they're willing to pay for it, the association's not paying for it. I think if the association were to pay for it, then that would be opening up a door to everybody, for everybody saying, hey, come take it down my tree, come pay for my tree. So I don't think that this is necessarily setting a bad precedence, because they're doing it the right way. That's my
Do you
opinion.
agree with that?
No.
Jim?
No,
Okay.
I think that it goes beyond trees even, it goes to the association doing things that affect the community, but not for its public health and safety. I mean, you can say, well, those bushes over there create a lot of mosquitoes, pull them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, I'm just saying I'm uncomfortable, establishing this precedent, that's all.
I know you were concerned about what it was gonna look like without the trees.
Right, it really is going to take away more of the look of the street also.
Yeah. But now, with this, they're not required to, if these trees were removed, they're not required to, excuse me, replace the trees. When you remove other trees, there's a requirement. Can we require them to put at least one tree on our property, and a lower level tree?
I think that's fair for the
You
association.
think
yes.
that's fair?
I do.
Ask them how they feel about
Would you
that.
I think I would be willing to replace 3 trees, however, the foliage of the tree cannot go higher than my roof, because once the roof gets replaced, solar is going on the roof as well. So,
See,
I
but
mean,
that's not something that we can change. So obviously the tree's gonna start out small,
for
but
sure.
the association is not responsible for making sure that your solar works. The
100%.
solar company is responsible for placing your solar panels in a correct area where the trees do not affect them. So obviously a tree's gonna keep growing as long as it's allowed to. We don't expect you to put in a 20-foot tree right away. It's obviously gonna start out smaller.
Would you be opposed to if they put the tree in?
Uh,
If they took those down and put a tree in, is that something you?
Madam Chairperson, I think if I'm reading the count right, and I could be wrong, I think we're going to come up with a tie vote, which means the motion's going to be defeated. If that's your opinion also, we should maybe wait till we have a full board, so we do have a majority
Well,
vote.
I'm just asking if she has something, if she wanted to say something about
Okay, sure.
replacing the trees, if that, because she had a concern about the look when you come in the development without the trees there.
And I don't live on that street either. I mean,
The next thing I'm gonna say is, when are the other trees gonna start getting taken care of yet? And like, on all the palm trees on that street, I mean, we just had an arborist at the house, and every single palm tree on that street is not being taken care of. I mean, we can go around in a circle And where the board and our subdivision is not really in a predicament to be able to just, well, I think it's gonna look nice, but I'm not putting the bill for the pest and the nuisance being caused, but I wanted to make sure that there's trees there because it looks nice. I mean, I get that, but if you're not paying my bill, it's a problem. And the next thing would be is, we're gonna start pointing fingers and take time, and I'm gonna let you guys know that this is a time-sensitive issue. It really is. Every day that we allow the trees to be there, the bugs keep multiplying. That's their main source. If you had a bug issue at your home,
Which I have.
but if you did right now and it was out of control and you were spending $500, I can pull the receipt up and show you the Drake pest receipt, you would be upset that that it's not being taken care of or that it's not a precedent to you. I mean, when there's bugs crawling over your baby, I could take the money to cut the trees down, just like I could send that to my attorney and, we could go down that route if we wanted to, because we want to take time, and you guys want to say, oh, we need a permit, or we don't need one, or, well, it's going to start a bad precedence with the HOA, and it's just like, well, are you guys actually taking care of and not neglecting all the other common areas? Because that's my
Okay,
first
I'm gonna stop you right there, because you've made your point.
Okay, perfect.
You've made your point,
It's frustrating.
but exactly. I also live near a common area. I get what you're saying. And we also live in Florida, so we have anything that can happen at any time.
Absolutely.
And which is why this is not just a simple task when you bring it to us like this. And we follow a rule.
100%.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so
I understand. that you
I
guys
am
are-
not your
It's
enemy.
a binding issue. It's super,
Exactly.
it's super in the middle of kind of being a cluster. So I apologize. I didn't want to be here to give you the issue.
Right. But, just knowing that no one here is the enemy.
I understand.
Okay, again, if we're gonna go through that permit thing again, it had nothing to do with you. It had to do with another tree
Yep.
that was coming down and making sure that it could come down.
Absolutely.
Okay? And again, it was sent to me, and it's my responsibility to make it part of our meeting
Yep.
and then Linda,
Just like it's part of being to be a
Absolutely.
good Samaritan and a good neighbor within our association and our
Absolutely.
neighborhood. To
All of
come
us.
here and say, hey, this is an issue. It hasn't really been being treated.
Back to the question.
And then,
Okay.
what can we do?
If the trees were down and trees were planted in its place, I know that was your concern, is that something that you like or not like? What?
and looking at these beautiful trees, that's the only issue I have, that they're just mature, healthy-looking trees. I'm very sorry that that's the case.
They're
I
also not
really
being
am.
taken care of though, so you
Okay.
also make sure to say that they're not
Okay,
being
we
taken
gotta
care of.
let the board do their job, okay?
Just, I wanna make sure for the record.
We
though, that
understand, we got
Yeah,
you,
we
we got
get
it, we
it.
understand
Yeah.
it, let us do
We're all
our job.
homeowners.
beautiful truth that
At this moment in time, I'd like to know what the trees are gonna be that are being replaced, how fast they would grow, because that can be established also. Again, aesthetically is how I'm looking at it at this moment, because I walk there all the time and quite honestly have never been in any feeling of that there was a problem going on there. And I walk very slowly with the dog. So I'm not doubting anything, but I'm just really concerned that they're just perfectly beautiful, healthy trees. And I live in Florida now, and I'm not interested in more being disturbed in our area. We just lost a whole forest.
I think we got the gist, and I think we certainly understand your problem.
Absolutely.
We're not unsympathetic, please, Lynn.
Absolutely.
I don't want to get that across. But I think everybody's made their position, and I think let's get to it. Do we want to table it, or do we want to vote on it? Somebody has to make a motion.
what do you want to do? Do you, well, I want to know, if the tree, you don't want the trees down at all.
I don't,
But if the
I'm
trees
not
did come
comfortable with the
down-
precedent. I really am not, because it's not just trees, it's, you're opening this up to. I respect Tiffany a lot, but once you start going into opening up certain areas, you never know where it's going to lead. Especially, yes, if that tree was ready to fall on your house, there'd be no question. You know, cut it down, there's no question about it. But where do you stop? Too many mosquitoes coming from trees and bushes, too much this, snakes, you know. What obligation do we say, hey, wait a second, you know, this isn't the responsibility of the HOA, you know, I mean, this is nature, this is the way it is, unfortunately. And we do sympathize, you know, sometimes you do buy a house that by a stump and you get hit with mosquitoes and things like that. But, you know, that's my point.
I understand what he's saying, but I think we need to treat each person's situation individually. Like I said, I am familiar with this issue, so I do understand it. I don't have a problem with the trees being taken down, as long as it's not going to cause our community any problem.
So if we go and it's tied, then what happens?
I mean, technically, we don't have a tie.
Tie vote is defeated by parliamentary procedure.
No, but does it come back?
Yeah, we can table it and
Should we table it
And
first?
not-
and then-
I mean-
Do you want to pull it and wait till we have a full board and one extra vote?
No,
Okay.
I guess.
we only need 3 votes, right?
Um,
I mean,
I'm sorry?
Yeah, but it's going to be tied.
We have to have a majority,
You have to have a majority.
and
But
if
a tie vote will defeat the motion.
it would have to be when we have a full board, because we would need that 5th person as the tiebreaker if we had a tie vote. Because if it's a
so
tie,
we have
it
to
doesn't
wait a
go
whole
anywhere.
nother month?
Huh?
Yes.
We have to wait a whole month, you
Yes.
think, in that words?
Yes, exactly right.
Email.
I want to just make it very clear to you guys.
Hold on.
Okay.
We still have to follow certain things that
that
our management is advising us.
She's giving me an
I'm also
advisement,
under
so
the
just,
same rules you guys are.
if you want, we can end it and just wait until next month and do whatever you want. If you want to wait until we have a conversation,
Have a
then we can wait.
conversation. Have a
Okay.
conversation.
Tiffany's saying that we could do a vote by email
And then
and
ratify
not
it.
have to wait a month if you want to do that.
So because I understand both sides. However, you say that this tree is a nuisance, it is causing a nuisance to this family, and it is coming from the association.
Is that even legal, an email vote for a board?
As long as it's ratified, especially because this is a nuisance. This is causing.
No, because
this-
we got into trouble with that at the Cinematique Theater, voting by email. And it was ruled that you
We-
can't do that under Florida
We
statute.
have discussed this in the sunshine. It's been discussed in full, and it will be discussed again at the next meeting. So it's not that it's a secret vote or anything like that. However, this is a nuisance to this family, and I think that they should not have to wait a whole nother month. I mean, do what you want as a board. I'm just telling you that I think that making them wait another month could open up bigger issues. That's all I'm saying. That's my opinion.
Well,
I agree
nobody's
with
making
that.
anybody do anything. I mean, we're just saying, I'm just reading the count. I could be all wrong. I'm just looking that I think the vote's going to be tied, but I could be all wrong. And I just thought if the people know that, you know, many times when you're not going to win a vote, you pull it and fight another day, that's all.
Well,
We're missing one person who
understand.
might be very favorable to the
I don't
to the
know which way
proposal.
she's
Yeah, I
going.
know, I'm the same
But
way.
I'm just saying, if we can do this, we've discussed this, but I don't know, she's not here to hear the discussion. Do you present that to?
So here's what I'm gonna recommend, is that we wait, because I have reached out to the attorney for just an opinion on this. We wait to hear back from the attorney, and then we can go from there. We can discuss it by email, and if you guys want to wait to the next meeting for a vote, then that's fine. But discussions are legally allowed to be held by email. So there you go.
Discussions, all right. I'm not sure a vote is allowed, but.
Correct, but it will, correct, yeah. So let's wait, my advice is to wait to hear back from the attorney.
Do we have any idea how long that may take?
It should be any day now, I'm hoping. I reached out to her last week, or was it the week before, I'm not sure. She was out of the office on vacation, so that's part of the delay, or he was, so, I'm just waiting on that.
Make a motion? To table it?
I don't want to make that motion.
Jim, you want to make a motion?
That seems to go against the will of the people that made the application, so I'm not willing to make that motion.
So then we'll
Somebody's gonna have to make a motion.
do the-
You guys, yes, absolutely.
Right, I make a motion that we table this ARB until we hear from the attorney and have a full board to make a vote. Well, I got nothing.
You guys as a board cannot function without motions and votes. So it's either that we table this or the vote is denied and it doesn't come back up again. At least tabling it, we're allowing it to come back up.
That's correct. That's the purpose of a table.
So
But
I
you
motion
need
that
a
we
second.
table.
Yes, you need a second.
I need a, yeah,
All right, I'll give you the second.
all in favor? Aye.
Can we have a time frame here?
Definitely different time frame, 'cause
As soon as
You gotta
we,
talk to your attorney,
we're gonna have to talk to ours too then.
so.
understood, but you also need to realize that the board has to operate under the state law.
The
So,
board is
no,
also-
no, you're gonna let me finish, thank you.
I know the state laws.
And the association relies on attorney advice, because I'm not an attorney, she's not an attorney, she's not an attorney, they're not attorneys. None of us are attorneys. So the association constantly relies on attorney advice. So we need to make sure that, and I think so that way the whole board can make a decision, an informed, educated decision, we need to wait for that. And the attorney was on vacation, so that's why we don't have it yet, but we have done our due diligence to reach out and get that information. So as soon as we have it, we will reach out to you and we can bring up this discussion. And if we need to call a meeting via Teams or Zoom, we can do so just for yours, if the board chooses to do so.
I see no reason for that. I just.
Time is of the essence.
I understand.
It's a
No,
little
we-
different when
we-
there's no
we-
laws
we
going
under-
on.
we understand.
Yes, I know, you
We
don't,
understand.
you
We
don't
understand.
understand. You don't.
Okay, we don't
That's fine.
understand, all right.
I don't think so, because you would have said no. I'm willing to spend $4,000 to $6,000 that you guys don't have to cut these trees down that are causing a huge nuisance that you guys are not taking care of. You guys are neglecting common area. You are. I can go into the sub right now and start taking pictures, but yet you guys are too busy sending me notices about my weeds in my driveway, but yet not taking care of other things that are becoming a huge, huge deal. And I understand, you gotta follow rules, and I'm trying to as well, but understand that I'm at my wit's end. And you know what? I know that if any of you guys were experiencing what I'm experiencing, you guys would be doing whatever you need to be making sure that you're getting taken care of and the issues are being handled. And that's at the end of it.
If this was our own personal home, we would have to be doing the same thing you are.
Yeah, but.
It would be a lot faster.
No, it can't be because we have to follow the guideline. We can't make any special exception for ourselves other than, the
I
same
can
as
ask
we
the
couldn't
board
do
why
it for
you guys are
you.
neglecting the common areas.
They're
like
not
the trees.
neglecting anything. These are invasive bugs that come
No,
around
no,
once a
like
year.
palm trees, perfect, just.
The palm trees need to be trimmed, correct?
Yes,
So that it's not neglecting, it's just a seasonal thing that has to be done.
but it hasn't been done in 3 years.
Okay. Your opinion, thank you. We're not discussing, palm trees are not on the agenda.
It's part of the
So
common area, it's part of.
palm
the-
trees are, common area is not on the agenda either, so we're gonna stick to the agenda because you have to realize that the board is
It's all good.
are volunteers.
I'll
As soon
take
as
my
we,
$5,000 for the trees, you guys do whatever you guys need to do, you guys end up figuring out what you guys need to figure out. I'll wait my turn patiently, we'll hear everything, you guys let me know, I guess, are you guys gonna contact me by email? I mean,
Probably,
just being here, I mean, okay, and then like, as far as like a timeframe, so that I can let everybody know, all the parties.
if I had a thing from the attorney saying, hey, I'll have it on this day, I would tell you, but I don't. So we're relying on the attorney. As soon as we hear back, we will let you know something.
Absolutely.
We're at the mercy of our outside contractors, just like anyone else.
I just think that this was very unnecessary, and we're gonna put our association and the community in jeopardy because we can't agree on things, and I think that's just silly.
We understand your
I absolutely think
opinion,
it's silly.
and as soon as we hear back from the attorney, we'll let you know. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you try and do people a favor, it doesn't work out right. That's all right. I mean, if we would have went to a vote, it would have probably been defeated, but,
Do you need that?
all right. Go ahead.
Okay. Next,
I understand why he's upset.
unfinished, did you have an ARB, sir, Mike?
I have no business before the.
Okay. Unfinished business. Starting with violations, arrears, and NOLAs. Let's see. I had one on lot 020055.
Which page are we on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you explain that?
Oh, you're on violations? I thought we were going to
Oh.
arrears and NOLA.
Violations, arrears, and NOLAs.
Oh, okay, so you're starting with the violations?
Yeah, that's how it was on
So
mine.
this is just a note because this owner called into our community care department, and that's where community care notates stuff for like me to see. And they're trying to dispute a balance. I've spoken with this owner. Pull it up 'cause I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I'll see that. No, it's on these. It's not here.
So they're trying to.
It's in violations. Yeah, it's in
So-
violations.
They said that they have paid the dues, but we've never received payment, so they're disputing it. So my community care, my,
This one. Okay.
How do they do their payments? Do they mail them?
so I know my delinquency department is working with them on this, because it's not really.
Is this 020055 you're
Yes.
talking about? Okay. The difference on this sheet and that sheet are different, though. Is there a reason why?
And they didn't
Well,
want.
because it's not really, that's just what he called in stating. That's just a note. So
Okay.
that's the actual balance.
Okay.
So he's stating that he paid stuff and, let me see, paid by shouldn't balance due. So they don't believe that they should have a balance in their account. My delinquency department is working with them to figure that out, to why they think that, but, they've missed a payment, and so my delinquency department's working with them.
And
I
then
see
what
notes
about
of where they've been talking.
The dispute about the power washing.
So,
It says that too.
yes, there's a note in here about that also. He's saying that that he does not believe that his residence falls outside of the association's deed restrictions in relation to the community's detriment. So apparently he doesn't think that his driveway needs to be cleaned. So he's disputing
Okay.
because it's a matter of opinion.
So,
So the board can decide whether they want to look at it and say, yes, it's fine, or no, it needs to be cleaned.
I'll look at it.
I walk by it.
It
It's
does.
pretty black.
It's, I mean,
But I mean, out of fairness,
Yeah.
we'll all look at it.
yeah.
Okay, so look at that address, find and see the address, and we'll
Yes.
drive by. and then
Question, please. Tiffany, this was examined by the association by whom? You or an associate?
Me.
You.
Yes, on my
And
monthly drive.
How long ago was it examined?
The last one was just sent on.
No, I mean sent, I mean examined his driveway, looked at it.
525,
I'm there once a month, so I'm there every month. So that one would have been sent in April. Let me see when I sent that one. It would have been on my April drive-through that I sent it, so 4/16, April 16th.
So you saw it in April, let's say?
And the most recent.
Yes.
Okay, so in your opinion, it needs to be power washed?
My opinion, yes.
Okay.
But this owner specifically does not think that my opinion counts.
Well, we're not talking about a Supreme Court decision.
So-
Just look at it.
So that's why I'm saying if the board can just drive by and look at it and say, yes, it does, so we can get a consensus, and then we can say, look, the board has determined that this does need to be cleaned.
Okay.
All right. Barb?
Okay, we'll do
All
that.
right, so we have to look at that. And can we do this within the next day? Well, you won't be back till Thursday, so if we can get a
We'll
notice
get
to
it to her by
Tiffany
Monday.
by Monday? Okay.
Fair?
What's the date Monday?
You want to do it on the way back? Or you have time? Yeah, okay.
10th.
But Monday's the deadline, we need to report our findings, because Tiffany
All
will
right,
be out of town.
I
Well,
also
if we do
have
it
a
tonight, we
question.
can,
This one down here,
we'll wrap it up
she called me
or
tonight.
tomorrow or tonight.
And I know we sent you, if she's on that it needs to be trimmed back.
Mhm.
And she called me and she wants more of an explanation on how far things have to be cut back. Michelle looked at it on the way over, and she said you have to be able to see the windows.
Right, it
So-
should be below the window.
So it's not below, there's nothing below
Right.
it, but it's all above.
Yeah, but I made the point that in past conditions, it's good for her house.
Yeah, but we need.
Yeah,
So I can tell her it should be below the windows?
yeah.
She has two on each side, bigger, like trees. I think they were just bushes that got out of control.
Mhm.
Those can be, as long as all the other stuff is below the window?
Yeah, I think as long as it looks neat, I think it's fine. It's just, it looks
Okay.
messy.
Yeah. Okay, I know on that. I sent you the information on this one today, the 010033. You guys have a chance to look at that one? She does not believe that the sidewalk is her responsibility.
I've already spoken to her. She's
So-
still debating it, but
Well,
And that she doesn't have fungus on her house, but I sent Tiffany the picture, that there is fungus on the house. She says her garage door will be fixed when she gets her last check from the insurance company.
I know that everybody usually maintains the sidewalk, but I do know other people that live in associations, and they took this to court, and the association lost.
it really depends on their documents. I have some associations where the documents state that the association is responsible for them. Then I have some of them that are silent. So it really just depends on the
And ours, I
documents.
think, are silent.
Yeah, yours are silent.
But if she wanted to push the issue, she may win on the sidewalk. That's all I'm saying.
I
Might.
don't think she wants to push the issue because there's,
So much against
yeah.
it. So,
However, the precedent in the past has been that the owners do just pressure wash their
And
sidewalks.
maintain it, just like we maintain by our mailboxes and so on and so on.
All right.
It's for the better of your property.
Question on 010043. I don't see where he's going to sign or anything, and he still has those stumps in his yard. His weeds, I think, have been treated.
I
They're
believe-
yellow, but the stumps are still there.
I believe it's because he has spoke to me about his stumps and he hasn't scheduled. Let me look it up again. I believe that's the one. It's not him. I know there's one that's reached out to me about stumps.
I think it's at 3489.
Yeah. I think I do have him scheduled for the finding committee. I have already reached out to the finding committee and asked them to set a date, and they did set a date for the end of June. So I have a list of them on my calendar to send out 2 weeks prior to that.
Okay, so we can put him on the
Yes.
planning committee. And is that just going to be for the stumps, or is that going to be for the weeds as well?
For the weeds as well, because he's had a third on both of those.
This is 010.
010043.
Do we know about how many properties approximately are going to be presented to the finding committee?
I mean, I've noted most of them. That one I missed the note on.
Okay. I didn't look that, I
There-
mean, I looked at them, but not that
There are a
closely.
few.
Okay.
Well, the other one I'm finding was 030131. I didn't see that they were going either, and it was about the pressure washing.
No, that one is on the list also.
Okay. But some of them said it was going to finding, some of
Yeah.
them didn't, so I just,
Yeah, I may have just. Yeah, I know I had a pretty good list of them that were going.
Yeah, but you got one from going in June there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only ones I had. Anybody else have any questions on the violations? No questions? Jim, you have any questions on the violations? Nope, okay. All right, and then I did, here's the ones, and these are the ones that are fixed. Okay. All right, so then we can go to the arrears sheet. Can you, the first one, 030131? It said it was at the attorney's. And do we have anything back on that one?
So the attorney has sent a demand letter, which is the beginning, it's pretty much saying, look, if you don't pay by this date, we're gonna start foreclosure proceedings. So it's it's an intent to foreclose, I guess it's called, or something like that.
With that, because there's multiple not doing things, can that be put in the finding on that and go to the lien? Or is it,
Yeah, all that will be included.
okay,
Mhm.
so hopefully,
Yeah, any outstanding balance will be included.
when are we gonna know that date that they're gonna send it? he
So
sent
I
that to me.
believe it went out last week, because the collections and that's all different, but my collections department or delinquency department is working with them on that, so, I kind of stay in the back seat of that, but,
How long does
yeah.
it normally take?
I mean, they usually send it out right away, but we have to give them, I believe, 45 days, it's like a 45-day notice.
And his mailbox is full, so is it something that's signed for?
Yeah,
Is
it's a
it-
certified letter,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
And then the next one down, 010033.
And then
Yeah,
10 to lien
intentionally,
listing.
so that's been the 45 days, do we know where that is?
It's actually, because it's more than 45 days now for an intent to lien.
They increased it?
Yeah, state statutes is doing nothing good for HOAs. I can tell you exactly how long y'all's is.
Question, does the second one down, 033,
Yeah.
do they have financial problems, or what's the reason they're always on
We
the
don't know.
We don't
cumulative
know,
list?
they don't communicate at all.
Irresponsibility.
What's that?
Irresponsibility.
Oh, okay.
It's 70, oh no, wait, the intent to lien. So it's up to, so you guys have to make a decision to do the lien, is what you guys have decided on your collection policy. So if y'all want to make a motion to do that, once we hit that deadline, which I believe is 60 days, so we should be good to go. If you guys want to make that motion tonight, we can go ahead and move forward with that.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead with the lien on account 010033
After the 60 days.
after the 60 days.
A second.
Second, all in favor? And then the ones that are down here that are in 2023, those are the ones that are being paid on, that's why they're still there?
Yeah, so, because those are just NOLA letters that were sent, so that's just advising that they were sent NOLA letters, and that will go away once it's at a zero balance, but it's just gonna sit there.
But because they are making payments, it just sits there until they catch
Yeah,
up?
until it's at a zero balance.
So do we ever send them another one, because it's got zero balance?
They get reminder notices, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but not ones that like are charged for anything.
Anybody have any questions on the arrears? You good? Okay, the NOLA letters on here, any questions on the NOLA letters on there? All right, so let's go, the planning committee you said is in June, the end of June. So we're good there?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we did get the signs done. Everybody got a chance to look at the signs? Painted?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
They look nice.
So they are done. They did a good job. I know, was it you or Michelle that pointed out where the,
I think
I know
did I
what you
send you a
did.
picture?
Yep, that, the good part is we now know who we can call to fix them. So one of the signs, I think it's the one that's coming out of Country
Right, you
Manor
can see it
on
from
the,
the car.
on the left.
That's-
The board is a little warped, like it's popping apart, but they put caulk or something in there
Mhm.
and they sealed it up a little bit. And
Yeah,
so,
I noticed that.
yeah,
Yeah,
So,
saw it from
um,
the car and then I just
Yeah.
went over.
so it's gonna be good for now, and they put some stuff in there to seal it and hopefully keep water from getting in there. So, but I think it'll be okay for now. If, you know, if it goes, we know who to call, which saves us a lot of, saved us a lot, right? Know who to call. So, all right, so anything else on the signs? We're good? All right.
They look great.
And now our lawn and sprinkler issues. They, went out and did the inspection. Michelle goes, hey, well, first of all, Michelle's like, look, the sprinkler's buried down in the ground, it's all chewed up and everything. I sent them the picture, I said, what's going on? And said, then the next thing, all of a sudden, the flags are up and they're, came out and did an inspection. I said, well, what are we doing with them? So they haven't fixed them, and I asked a week and a half ago for a report. So he sent me this report, but he didn't send me any cost or anything. So I don't know what he's doing with them. If you can address that with him when you talk to him tomorrow. So the Country Walk entrance, he said there's, I don't know what the X's mean here. He has to add a new heads, one, along the fence in the common area and the main entrance. It just sprays to cover where the grass was dying. I don't know if he did it or if he's gonna do it. I can't tell by the language. So 5 spray ones he had to fix. Zone 2, he inspected one. He had 4 in zone 3. He sprayer, and he had 3 in zone 4. So 9, 10, 13 spray heads. I don't know if he just checked them or what he did with them.
There's a lot of flags laying on the ground as of today,
Yeah.
so I don't
Well,
know
'cause
whether.
They mowed today, so they just mowed over them, I think. Then he's got 6 rotors. What that means, I don't know. Do you have that? And this is where the box is and the zones that they look at up there. Because we got 3 sections. We got the one on Country Walk, one on Saul's, and one on Country Manor. About the same thing for for Saul's Street. There's 5 rotors and 3 sprays. And he says several broken rotor heads along sidewalk where pedestrians are maybe kicking them or stepping on them. I don't believe so. I believe it's his mower.
The pictures that I took and sent to Linda are of multiple, and a lot of them are just even overgrown where you can barely see the donuts sticking out from underneath the grass.
That's one of them.
There's
It's
some that are
overgrown.
chewed up, there's
Yeah, it's chewed
pieces
up.
missing. That's not from being kicked.
I mean, that is not.
And that's on
See,
salt.
That's on Country
And
Manor.
this is on.
Yeah, do you think somebody's kicking that, or you think the
Send
mower's
those
sitting
to
there?
me so I can send them to
I
Mike.
sent it to Chad.
Right, but we need
Yeah.
to send them to Mike because
I'll text him
Chad
too.
doesn't
Yeah.
seem to.
Alright, so that one and that one to Tiffany.
And honestly, out of all the sprinkler heads that
4,
are
7,
there, I could only physically lay my eyes on 4 out of all the sprinkler heads on the north and south side of Country Manor. And I had
And
to
then
look for
send me
those.
these 2 too, so. Oops. Alright, so there's 4 pictures you should have. So this is what his, because I'm not getting anywhere with him. He's not understanding what I'm saying. And then this was, he sent me the bills, because remember we were saying he was overcharging us $85? He didn't understand what I was saying.
So they owe us a credit of about $515. for all of the months that were overpaid. Mike Troiano, who is one of the owners of the company, has agreed, and I have it in writing, that they're going to give us a credit on the invoices for that, or on an invoice for that. We just got an invoice, and it was the correct amount, but it was not credited. So I am going to reach out to him again, and a lot of these are wrong.
Mhm.
And I verified that, and I'll pull the invoices and attach them, because they're saying that like the March invoice was only $17.65, and that's incorrect. It was $18.50. I have the invoice. So I will pull all of those invoices and verify what's correct and what's not, and then I will send that back over to Mike, and make sure. I'm not going to pay the invoice until we get the credit on it. So.
The $3,700 that we paid, that we figured we paid the 2 months, was
Mhm.
that corrected?
What do you
Because
mean,
in
was it
April,
corrected? we paid for April and May.
Okay, so May we got credited because we actually sent him a check for $3,700.
We didn't get billed for May.
We didn't get
We didn't-
billed. So
that's
that
what
was
I'm
April
trying
and
to
May.
ask.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yep. Yeah, I just received the June invoice
Well,
today.
according to this, it looks like we did get invoiced, but
Yeah.
Tiffany didn't get one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
And what he sent is totally different than what he,
okay.
I don't know who's doing the bookkeeping.
Just as long as we got our credit.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't yet, we're working on it. So there was no figures for the sprinklers, if they were gonna be fixed or what, and I haven't seen that they're fixed,
Mm-mm.
so.
Okay. I'll reach out to Mike again when I get back, and put all that into it.
So you want all that and send you those pictures. All right, so we're all good with that. New business. A couple weeks ago, we had big rain. If everybody remembers, rain, wind. It broke a tree in between Martingale and Foxhunt. Stacy Ruggs was watching those houses, the 2 houses that were there, and she called to tell me that the tree big branch came down, and it's on common property. And I said, well, okay. And every time I went to get it to look, it was raining or it was wet, so I didn't want to get down there. And then she called me one day and said, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to go down there with my chainsaw and start, chopping it up. It was a week ago today. And my husband was home. I said, let's go help her. So we went down and we took care of that. She says, because I have nothing else to do, I'm going to come do it today so the association doesn't have to pay for it. I said, wonderful. Thank you so much. And so we took care of that and got that up. So, yay. Anybody else that, pass it along, wants to do things like that, we're more than happy to do that. And, volunteer work is always appreciated. So that was my new business and a yay moment. So, all right, so now we can open up to the owner's forum. You have 3 minutes if you'd like to speak.
Do you have any questions, comments, anything?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
As a newcomer, did we receive like a newcomer's package?
Oh, I
Do's and
wish.
don'ts?
How long ago did you guys close? What's your address?
3460 Saginaw.
Let me see if we have you updated yet.
Did you set your account up with Century and everything? Is that all taken care of or not?
Because you should receive a welcome package that just pretty much has your coupons and account information. You said 3460.
60, yeah.
And what's the name on the account?
Thomas Lawrence.
I should that you're updated. Your welcome letter was sent out on 4/17. Did you receive that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I show it was updated on 4/17, and that would just have your account information and all that in it.
Okay. Do you have my email by chance?
Let me see what I have in here. I do not.
Just
I
in case
also-
I'm doing something wrong.
I can send you the, I have the docs. Do you want me to send like the,
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to write your email address down and I can get it added to your account so that way we have that information?
Thank you.
if you give me that, I'll put that in here and I'll send those right now. See, you just ask and you shall receive around here. We try to make it easy. I just really forgot to sign into mine. Tommy Lee, huh? You need it?
Okay.
Um, the heck was that? Is it not letting me do it because I'm here? Can't open my. Just open it. Where'd it go? All right, so I'll send you everything I have, amendments, articles, all that stuff. It's also on, you'll get a, from Tiffany, when you set up your account, we have a, on there, there's docs and all that stuff, but I'm
Okay.
sending it to you, so you'll have it before then, okay?
Excellent, thank you.
So how do you pay the HOA fees? Is that yearly?
That should be in your welcome letter, so I'm not sure why you didn't get it. But once, I have your mailing address as the property address, that's correct?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why you didn't get it, but I can send you that information. But you can pay it right online and
Oh,
everything.
perfect.
Great.
There's nothing due until July 1st, so.
All right.
All right, so if that's it, nothing else?
Anybody else want to speak?
Adrian, you got anything to say?
It was a mind-opening experience. I loved every minute of it. Honestly, more exciting than a Yankee game. I gotta be honest, folks. It was great. Thank you for having me.
All right, if that's it, then meeting adjourned at
I-
6. Whoops.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second, there we go. All in favor? Thank you. Adjourn at 6:33.
Come on.
Thank you.